forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the videos, hit the notification bell just where you guys can get an update as to when new videos have been uploaded on the channel. And yeah, so I'm gonna try this uploading thing. I think now it's what, a couple of hours after Monday Night Raw has been dropped. Working a 9 to 5 sneak up in place. But yeah, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not gonna be doing it as the usual um, episode where I put in SmackDown and Raw on one episode of the podcast, because obviously this weekend is Wrestlemania weekend. So we're gonna be very, very busy. I'm gonna be checking out a lot of the programs that will be happening with Wrestlemania, given the fact that there's also the Hall of Fame. I'm just looking for a streaming service where I can check that out. And obviously, once it's sorted out and seen who the we've already seen who the Hall of Fame, the class of 2025 is. I'm obviously just going into the inductees, seeing their speeches, and then just reviewing that. But obviously, in this episode of Monday Night Raw, it was the last episode before WrestleMania this weekend. So obviously, we're not gonna see a lot of wrestling on the show. It's just basically gonna be video packages, promos back and forth, and just a lot of building up to whatever we have so far. And we closed off Monday Night Raw today with obviously Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk. It's interesting to me the angle that they're taking with Roman Reigns at this point in time, because that was one thing I just wanted to get into before we went into everything and discuss the segment a bit further. Um, he dropped a video on all his socials. I think it was yesterday, and which was Monday, because now it's 9:15 in South Africa. So obviously, Raw played at about 3 a.m. this morning on our side. But he dropped basically a video of him saying that he needs to have a tighter chokehold on the company, and to not let so many people in a few words that he had basically said on that video caught my attention. And obviously, with what Seth Rollins had said on the night before on Friday Night SmackDown, is that it seems that Roman Reigns is living in his own bubble and is not living in reality. And reality, when it comes knocking back in, it's always never been kind to him. Um, I really don't don't know what to expect coming out of WrestleMania with the character development of Roman Reigns and in which direction he's gonna be going. Given the fact that Cody's prophecy is now coming through, the fact that he doesn't have Jimmy, Jay, Solo, or at this point in time, he's not gonna probably have Paul Heyman by the end of WrestleMania. What's interesting to me is the fact that he mentioned the fact that he saved Paul Heyman. He mentioned the fact that um, he made Paul Heyman relevant again. But the last time I checked, the last time that unity was made was because they both needed each other at that point in time. And Paul Heyman, for me personally, has never shown any sort of side where he would be betraying or turning against Roman Reigns at this point in time. Up until this week, which I would say he has a reason now why he would turn on Roman Reigns at this point in time. Because for me personally, the only time that I've ever doubted Paul Heyman was when Brock Lesnar was still in the picture, given the history that he has with Paul. But he never betrayed Roman, he never turned his back on Roman. Everything that Paul has done to this point in time was for the benefit of Roman Reigns, and it's absolutely worked. And we can also say that, given how big Roman Reigns of a superstar has become, it's not just all down to his alignment with Paul Heyman, but it has something to do with that. So for him to be allowing Seth Rollins to get into his head the way that he is, I think this is part of Seth Rollins' plan. Is just to plant that seed, the fact that everything that's happening is a matter of choice. It's a matter of choice why Sami Zayn decided to betray you. It's a matter of choice why Seth Rollins betrayed you. It's a matter of choice why the Usos betrayed you. It's a matter of choice why Solo Sokoa betrayed you. So Seth Rollins is playing mind games, and to a certain extent, it's actually working in getting Paul Heyman isolated and alienated from Roman Reigns. What's weird to me is the fact that Roman still thinks he has that power that he once had when he had the Universal title. And as big as he has become, and for the 3 to 4 years where he held the title, the Universal title, that is, he was the pinnacle of professional wrestling. Everything that included Roman Reigns went big. Everything, every show that had him on it sold out. Merchandise off the charts, everything. But at this point in time, he has to, I think, come to terms with reality that that power and that dominance that he once had, he doesn't actually have it anymore. The best way I think for us to develop his character is we've seen him at the pinnacle of the mountain. We've seen him become what everyone else in the company wants to become. So is it now time to maybe see him going to hit rock bottom? No pun intended. So is it now time for us to see Roman Reigns actually struggling with everything that's happening around him? For me personally, this promo, and it was basically a promo that he dropped on his social medias, it didn't resonate with me so well. It didn't allow me up to a point where I'm like, go Roman, go Roman. It actually made me question the fact that has he actually paid for the sins that he has committed in the past when he was in power? Has he actually paid for everything that he has done to everyone he has stepped over and everyone that he has cheated out of countless match wins on getting that Universal Championship? Like people like Drew McIntyre. Has Drew McIntyre actually gotten square with him, which I don't think he has. We haven't seen Roman Reigns struggle. Roman Reigns just basically lost his Universal Championship after Mania, went on a hiatus. Solo Sokoa took the Ulafala. Obviously, we were then cheering for him to come back for the fact that, oh, okay, he's the original tribal chief. We have an imposter who's calling himself that, but at the end of the day, he's not the original tribal chief. He came back. He didn't have a change in personality. He didn't have a change in character. He was still, for me, still the heel that the tribal chief has always portrayed. Basically, he was the bad guy that was liked for being bad. So he was basically Heath Ledger in the Batman movie. But he has never actually paid for the things that he has done. He has never actually apologized out of his mouth to, I think, Jay Uso, Sami Zayn, Jimmy Uso for everything that he has put them through. So would it now be time for a character development where he actually starts going through a rough patch alone with no one around him to see how he actually would survive, to maybe realize that he always needed those people around him because they were always his source of strength? That's for me personally where I would be taking all of this. We've seen him at the pinnacle of the top. Maybe it's time we see him at the bottom of the mountain. Seth Rollins made it clear why he doesn't want these two gentlemen to be the face of what this company is going to represent going forward. Given the fact that Roman Reigns, he did mention it in his promo, he said he doesn't want part timers who show up when they feel like it. Because when he was World Heavyweight Championship, bad back, bad ankle, beaten up, he always showed up. So he believes that you need to have pride in the company that you work for and be able to represent it no matter what, not when it's convenient for you, which is also a noble cause. But at the end of the day, once you've hit that level of success, I think you can maybe dictate a few terms and maybe change a few things, who knows. But at this point in time, that's what Seth Rollins is fighting for, and he's playing mind games obviously with Roman Reigns, and he's actually getting to him. He's actually very much getting to Roman Reigns, and he's isolating the one person that he has left for me that could have maybe helped him. Yes, he can't be in his corner at WrestleMania, but he could have helped him going forward because he's actually never been disloyal to the guy. Um, excuse me. We started off the night with a promo from Gunther, and with this promo and with this segment, I think I wouldn't be so angry if he actually retained at WrestleMania. Yes, I hope that Jey Uso wins at Mania and gets the World Heavyweight Championship around his belt. the World Heavyweight Championship belt around his waist. But given the promo that Gunther gave tonight, last night, I see why he's the World Heavyweight Champion. I've always said that if you were to build, this was actually something that I stole from JBL, who said if you were to build a sports entertainer from the ground up, it would be Randy Orton. But if you were to build a professional wrestler from the ground up, I think it would look something like Gunther. So for me, Gunther showed why he was chosen to be the World Heavyweight Champion. And if even if he wins and retains this title, for me it would make sense why he would, because given the promo that he gave out tonight, you can understand the caliber of superstar that Gunther is. So obviously, in another match, we had Bailey who defeated Liv Morgan. Rey Mysterio defeated Julius Creed by pinfall. So big shout out to Julius Creed, obviously one half of the American made tag team. And like I said, this gent Julius Creed, we've seen him in the past couple of years, but on one-on-one competition, we have never actually seen him. And for him to hold his own against Rey Mysterio tonight, last night, I keep saying tonight because I think I watched the show like just at about 7 o'clock ish. But at the end of the day, big shout out to Julius Creed. He held his own against Rey Mysterio, and a huge shout out to Rey Mysterio, who's moving around like a 16-year-old in the ring. Doesn't make sense. Some people age backwards. It's just not fair. Um, AJ Styles faced off against Karrion Cross. Um, a huge shout out to Karrion Cross. I sent out. Do we say it's a tweet or an X? We say it's a tweet. So I was just mentioning the fact that I had sent through a tweet this morning, and I was just shouting out Karrion Cross after his performance with AJ Styles tonight. And for me personally, I feel like Karrion Cross could be what Bray Wyatt was supposed to be. Rest in peace to Mr. Wyatt. And I just feel that given enough time and character, because obviously he's been developing his character in the past couple of weeks with the promos that he's been given, the attention to detail, and amazing what he was able to pull off with AJ Styles tonight. Basically giving himself up as a sacrificial lamb to then try and get AJ Styles ready for his match with Logan Paul at WrestleMania. I'm enjoying the fact that they also brought back his theme, his entrance with Scarlett. So that was great to see tonight, and it's just so it's a breath of fresh air. It almost gives you a sense of what Karrion Cross was in NXT, and but he was actually bold in NXT, and he was a menace. Like I think he was one of the most dominant NXT champions at the time. So it was great to see him coming out to his old theme song with his old entrance, obviously with Scarlett, and big shout out to AJ Styles, who's obviously getting in a way prepped for his match with Logan Paul, and just Cross just wants to bring out that viciousness, that focused AJ Styles that he knows is inside of him, and I think he just wants to turn the guy into a heel. But it's obviously going to be interesting to see coming out of Mania what the story is with both those two. Um, Also, another match that took place tonight was obviously Finn Balor, who got defeated by Penta by disqualification. So it's just another one of those layers where they keep building up the Fatal 4-Way match for the Intercontinental Championship. And at the end of the day, Carlito seems like he's just having a recurring nightmare where he's just trying to run away from Braun Breaker, but he just can't get away from him. So obviously, a jam-packed episode of Monday Night Raw, and just let me know, guys. Comment down below. Let me know what you enjoyed the most about Monday Night Raw. What you feel that your predictions will be going into WrestleMania 41. Have they changed? Because I'm definitely starting to question myself when it comes to Jey Uso, but I'm still having that hope that he will win the big one this weekend. And I'm just hoping that obviously Gunther is gonna put up one hell of a fight, and it's gonna be one hell of a great match. And it's just so nice how we adding so much to these stories without having to resort to pros or having um, not to resort to the usual stuff where opponents just before a PLE just beat each other up. Obviously, with the last segment with Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins, that was a different story. But at the end of the day, it still builds that anticipation as to how Paul Heyman is gonna be. We know he's gonna be a huge factor. And the other thing I picked up from Seth Rollins tonight, Seth Rollins was like, "You'll always do what's best for business." So that we know that that infamous line that obviously Triple H would say when he was in the authority to whoever he was trying to persuade to join them, that he knows what's best for business. So it's always gonna be interesting to see what happens. So let me let me know what you guys feel. Did you enjoy the last show of Monday Night Raw just before WrestleMania? What would you have liked to see, and what did you enjoy the most? And obviously, have your predictions for WrestleMania 41 changed? Let's comment, let's interact, guys. Comment, likes, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. Let's interact on the socials. It's at Simon Says Wrestling. Let me know what you guys think. Are your predictions still the same? Mine on this side, I have doubts, but they're still the same. And as always, Simon Says Wrestling. Now we're talking. Peace.